What's going on, Cancer? Welcome to your weekly forecast for the week of September 14th through the 20th of 2020. We got a new moon in your third house. So this is bringing a lot to mind, and it's trining Saturn in your seventh house. So there's definitely a lot about relationships this week, and it can be harmonious, or it can be you having to, really think about what you want, having to maybe go in a new direction, start a new cycle with what feels truly aligned and what's going to bring you the most harmony. Saturn is trying to help balance you out here and bring some structure to relationships and help you figure things out. But, you might figure it out, but you might have to put the action to what you figure out. So don't get lazy, I would say, this week and think that everything's just good because it's a trine on a new moon to Saturn. This is a pretty rare aspect, really. So I'd say it's very karmic and fated. But you got to be willing to pull the trigger. You got to be willing to go towards the ultimate, to go towards what's going to bring you the best structured relationship with the most harmony that you can have. You have Mercury in your fourth house. So I think emotions are definitely on your mind right now with this new moon. There's definitely, you got to communicate your emotions too. And Mercury's going to square Jupiter and Pluto this week, again, in your seventh house. So definitely a big time for relationships for you, and communicating your emotions, communicating your true feelings about what you want so that you can get it and to go through that door and to open things up in your life. And it's definitely a week to go for what's going to bring you the ultimate foundation and the ultimate environment in your relationships. And if you're not in a relationship, it could just be a harmony and a balance in life. You guys have a lot going on in your seventh house with Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. Jupiter just went direct. So I think there's definitely gifts and doors opening up right now, but you got to be willing to harmonize everything right now and make sure that it makes sense and make sure that, you're checking in with your feelings and your gut first too. Because this new moon too, it's also in quincunx to Mars in your 10th house of Aries, Mars retrograde, which is squaring Saturn, of course, in your 7th house. So this is definitely a big week, You gotta take action for the one thing that's going to bring you the best in life. The one relationship. The one thing that's going to bring you harmony. You can't spread yourself thin. You gotta kind of think about it. I think there's a lot to come into mind. It is this very go figure it out. What makes sense? If it doesn't make sense, then it doesn't even need to be there. So it's kind of simple in a sense that you could talk yourself out of things, but not if you're oh, you know what? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't align with my emotions. This doesn't bring me a balance. This doesn't bring me beauty. You'll know. So there's definitely big downloads coming in this week, and you're going to be forced to kind of figure out what makes your environment good, You're going to have Uranus in your 11th house. It's going to square Venus in your second house. So, Venus in your second house here in Leo definitely wants to feel the ultimate value, the ultimate comfort, the self-worth, wants to get the money right. And, Uranus is kind of making you innovate and figure out new ways to get these things to align within your reality. Maybe even bringing in people that can help you, finding harmony with, it's funny because the 7th house is the house of other people and relationships. It's what groups of friends, what relationships in all aspects of your life are going to help bring you value and make sense. And if they don't make sense, they don't bring value, and you're not feeling love, and there's no emotional connection there, I think things are going to make more sense and start to click. So it's almost like you got to take action for the relationships, the friendships that are going to take you higher, and the ones that aren't, well, I think you're going to be forced to make a decision. So there's definitely a lot going on this week. Mercury is going to quincunx Neptune, as well as square Jupiter and Pluto. in your 7th house. So there's transformation in your emotions and in your relationships, and then there's also like kind of this unknown with Jupiter in your, or with Neptune in your 9th. I'm sorry. It's like you have to trust that you're going towards the thing that's going to align with your spirit, and trust that the universe is going to put you in the right position, and to think about the things that are making sense, and to not block the things that do make sense. If something makes sense, don't be like, oh, that can't be, that's too good to be true. Like, no, that came in for a reason. Feel that. Don't block the goodness. I think this can be a very positive week. We don't just get new moons making an exact trine to Saturn every week or every year even. So this is a very karmic aspect, and it's trying to get you to really bring some control to the relationships and the harmony in your life, and be able to know that the universe has your back and that you're getting the signs you need. You just have to take action on those signs to get the ultimate value out of life right now. Card for the week is the Magician reversed, Cancer. I think you know what you need to create the ultimate reality, to create the ultimate relationships, but you got to put it all together. You can't ignore one ingredient that's coming through when it could be the most important ingredient to what you want. I think if you want to manifest and to truly be the magician in your life, you got to be willing to see the signs and channel that universal wisdom that's coming in, and not think that it doesn't apply, or that it's bringing you like a foggy reality here. Be the true alchemist. Let the messages come in and then create from that place, and be curious. I think there's a lot about curiosity this week. Be curious about what can make your life better emotionally, what can make your environment better, what can make your relationships better, and overall what can connect you to people better, and put that all together to create something beautiful this week. And I think you can turn this card around. I think you got to be willing to use all the tools at your disposal to find the true balance within yourself this week. I think you're gonna do fine, but there's a lot going on, especially with cardinal signs. So do what feels right, do what feels good, and make the environment what you want, and surround yourself with people and relationships that are on that same emotional connection. And I think you'll have a great week. I love you very much, Cancer. I'll see you next time. Peace.